What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jabran back here live for another episode of High Ticket Closing Mastery. Now, I know it's been a long time coming. I've been telling you guys that I'm going to be giving you the whole step-by-step on how I got from literally being a beginner in this industry to making well over $50,000 in commissions in a single month. Now, for many of you guys, it's really hard to comprehend, and for some of the experienced guys and some of the guys that have been working with me, well, you already know what's possible within this space. So without further ado, guys, I'm just gonna get right into it because I know there's been a lot of you guys that have been waiting for this training. I'm gonna try giving you as much as I can from my side possible, so you can get a real good insight into how I prepare myself, what I did, what was available, what I was selling, and many other things as well. And now look, I'll do follow-up videos from this as well. If you guys have any questions, anything that I miss out or anything that I left out or you want more information on, just drop a comment down below and I'll get to it as well. Now, before I get into, literally how I made well over $50,000, you know what's crazy? And as I put in the title of this video, $0 to $50,000. You know what's mad? It's actually way above 50,000. I think it was like $56,000 or $57,000 in commissions. And I was thinking just the other day, and I was like, there was a point in my life that if I had made $5,000 to $7,000 in income in a whole month or even 2 months, I would be more than satisfied. It would have covered all my expenses and everything, and I would have had money left over. And the crazy thing is, in me explaining and talking to you about this masterclass, 0 to 50K, I just missed out 5-7 grand that I had earned that I hadn't even added to the title of this training. And I really had to remind myself that, damn, at one point in my life, just making 5-7 grand, a month that I missed out from the calculations of all of this, was a lot of money, and still is a lot of money, guys. I mean, look, the worst case scenario, even if some of you guys just made 10% of, let's just say 57K, 5.7K, that's still probably double what most people, majority, double, triple, quadruple what most people are earning right now. But look, without further ado, guys, I just want to dive right into this. Now look, as you've heard me say this many times before as well, how you do anything is how you do everything. Most people see Jabran today, especially those of you who've been following me on my social media, you'd have saw that I've been heavily working on myself, my craft, my skills, and the value that I bring to the workplace for the last decade. Like, I've really been investing in myself, time, effort, money, and everything, you name it. And this is what I say to a lot of people. You guys probably see the end result now. Oh yeah, 0 to 57K or whatever, 50K even, as a high ticket closer. But people need to remember that I really have worked on myself and worked on my skills. And yeah, all I did was answered sales calls. I answered sales calls, but not the ordinary calls or the typical sales calls that most people answer. They weren't cold. They were interested people, informed and educated people that were qualified to come and speak to me. Now, I did some qualifications as well, and I'm going to break all of that down to you as well. I answered their questions, gave them find out what their problems were, gave them a solution for their problem, and I enrolled them. But let me break down to you guys literally what I did and how I did it and how I went about things as well. Now, look, guys, if you have a spouse, you really want to get them on board. You really want to get them on board and let them know on what you're planning to do. And for me, thank God, I had a very supportive spouse. Now, don't get me wrong, she didn't really believe. She used to think, because I used to hype a lot, and I tell everybody, you need to hype, you need to be excited, you need to future pace yourself, you need to talk about where you're gonna go. And I always consistently used to tell her that, you know what, like, she used to always see my goal of 20K a month, but more than that, she used to hear me, talk about all the big things that I wanted to do and the things that I'm going to achieve and all of that. And look, the normal person would get eventually, when they're not seeing the results or they're not seeing anything from the person, they're like, okay, change the record. But she never said it to me. She said it to me after, she saw the results and everything. She goes, I used to think that you were just, you were just in your head. But she was very supportive. She never once said it to my face that she doesn't believe in me. She always believed in me, and she's one of the main reasons why I was able to do the things that I was doing. And so that's one thing: getting your spouse on board with you. And don't get me wrong, I let them see the fruits of my labor. So when you do get paid, you need to treat your family. You need to show them the results. You need to let them experience the fruits of your labor, because it's their sacrifices as well that allow you to achieve what you're achieving. And I did that through many means. I gave her whatever she wanted. I took her on holidays. I bought her the things that she wanted. Okay, so look, getting your spouse, if you have a spouse or whatever, let them know your reason why you're doing this and what your mission is and who you're doing it for. And so they're on board with you, because if you don't have a spouse or your parents or whoever it is that's in your life, if they're not on board with you, you're already climbing an uphill battle, and it's going to be difficult. So you'd rather get them on board with you and let them know what you're doing. That's step one. Now, step two is you really deciding to go in. When I say go in, you look at other things secondary, as in this is the main thing that you really want to get going in terms of work-wise. So, I'm talking about the social times, they're secondary. Of course, there's some non-negotiables, as in for me, one of my, my faith is above and beyond everybody and everything. So, but that doesn't take too much time of my day. My 5 daily prayers, maybe the fastings on Monday and Thursday. And whenever I find myself awake, especially after midnight, and we call it, the last third of the night, I always get up and pray. For me, I swear to you guys, you have to believe in the Lord. You have to believe in God, because I am nothing without the Lord's blessings, without my mom's prayers. And you need to, man. You need to believe, whatever you want to call him, the Lord, the Creator, whoever you want to call him. There is something out there that's above and beyond all of us, and he answers your prayers. So make sure because I swear to you, man, the very prayers that I was asking for got answered. I swear to God. So belief in God. Now, what you need to do is clear your schedule. Be like, okay, I'm going. And I used to do this. I used to go on like a 90-day run. And, my priority was my work. No socials, nothing, any of that, whatever. Birthdays, parties, whatever. They can wait. I'm on my run, my 90-day run. And I'd even clear my calendar to work 12 hours a day if I had to. Because for me, and look, this is not going to be up everybody's street. I know this, but I'm just telling you what I had to do, what I did in order to get there. Now, and look, I'm a bit of a savage, and I like pushing my limits, and I can't do things half-heartedly, whether it's eating, whether it's going out, whether it's partying, whether it's chilling, anything. I can't do things half-heartedly. When I was boxing, I used to eat, drink, sleep, boxing. Everything, that even the TV I used to watch was only boxing. YouTube, boxing. My food was all boxing related. I never used to drink fizzy drinks. I never used to go out late. There was like I went, and that was when I was in the zone for boxing, and that's why I propelled in boxing. Anything that I want to do, I can't be half-hearted in it as well. Even right now, I'm trying to give you guys everything within me to win. And I swear to God, guys, these ingredients, these steps that I'm going to be giving you guys, if you implement these, even if you get half of that, that's 25, 30 grand. I'm going to show you how I made 25 grand within like the first couple of months, the first month actually on this offer. I was working with the influencer for like 2 or 3 months, but on this particular offer with the incentives that he put across, in the first month I made $25,000. So okay, clear your calendar, make this your priority. I was willing to do 5-6 days a week, because you need that 1 day a break as well. I was willing to do 5-6 days a week. That was one. And I was clearing all my schedule, and I swear to you, because look, I didn't even make time for I didn't even make time for lunch breaks, because you know what I said to myself? We normally do have, if I booked a calendar of like 10 calls a day or 12 calls a day, there's inevitably going to be 1 or 2 no-shows. So you know what I used to say to myself, as well as doing my prep for my next calls and following up, etc., with my clients and everything, I'll just squeeze in lunch between those between that lunch hour. So that's another top tip. If you're going beast mode, you don't need to take out an hour for your lunch, because I was like, time is money right now. I could potentially be making $1,000 per call. How many calls can I take in a day? 10, 12. Okay, let's go for it. Sometimes, I swear to you guys, I do 14-hour days, because we'd have trainings in the day as well, and whatever, and I'd smack out like 14-hour days, 12-hour days, 10-hour days. I was not afraid of hard work. So that's, clearing your schedule. And the lunch breaks was a kind of a game changer as well, because inevitably you'd always have 1 or 2 no-shows, sometimes even more. Now in those no-shows, that period of no-shows, you decide what you're going to do. For me, it was, eating, maybe, catching up with any of the follow-ups or anything, or admin that I had to do, and then spending that 15-20 minutes extra that I had left with family. So I'd slip in my family time in my no-shows as well. That was one of the things that that I was doing. Okay, now moving on to how I designed my day. I would study, like, look, facts. You want to study the facts. You want to study the numbers. You want to research and look at the data. Look at what data you've got available. And I used to always be inquisitive, and I used to speak to the experienced closers, and I used to ask them what are the best times to take calls. And I used to look at the calls. I used to look at calendars. What are the times people are closing people? Where are the clients coming from? And I remember once speaking to one of the top closers. His name's Amir, and like he helped me so much on like not even on my journey and on only my journey, but he helped so many others. And he was one of the main reasons and motivations that I when I started working for Kevin David, and I saw him, he was the main guy, and I was like, yo, this guy is killing it. He's from the UK. And I looked at him and and I was like, if this guy can kill it, I'm from the UK as well. I speak English. I've been in sales for many years. He hasn't even got many years experience, and he's younger than me as well. And I took that with so much confidence. Now, sometimes when you see some people winning, there's some people that get a bit intimidated and saying like, oh, but like he's this and he's that and whatever. I have some, because I've got a psychology background. I only have positive conversations with myself. And even though he had more experience, even if he had more experience than me, you know what I'd say to myself? He's done it, I can do it. It's like that Roger Bannister 4-minute mile. Before Roger Bannister, nobody had done, the 4-minute mile. But the moment he done it, people knew that it was possible. And then hundreds and thousands of people started doing it. But before that, nobody had done the 4-minute mile. Now, what does that say to you? The moment the moment people know that it's possible, you'd go out and go for it. And I just look at him and be like, if this guy's killing it, it's possible. I can do it as well. So, and that's just a bit about, who I was getting my inspiration from. And this is what you need to do. You need to get inspiration from someone. You need to find someone that's already walked the walk that you want to walk. It just cuts down so much time, effort, energy, and heartache and all sorts. So the moment I mapped that out, now I looked at and I started researching. And look, this is what I'm saying to you about the data. Look at the data. Where's the company's most deals coming from? Which geographical location? Which country? What times are the calls being taken that the most deals are coming at as well? Are they coming in after 9 to 5? Are they coming during 9 to 5? Are they coming in at midnight? Are they coming in at daytime? Are they coming in the Eastern time zone or the UK time? I'd look at all of this, and then I'd also, study that, and then I'll design my calendar to work those hours as well as my own hours, and I'll split the shift offs and whatever. I'll do whatever it takes. And that's why you need to take some time out to research and study and look at the numbers and prepare for yourself. Once you've done that, now you need to move on to, okay, I know all of this, and now you've prepared your day, what hours you're gonna work and everything. Your missus is on board, and like, I want to talk to you about how I hit literally within the first month of this offer, the first month, guys. Because before this, I was making 4, 5, 6, 7 grand. I know it wasn't even 7 grand. It was anywhere between, like, I think $3,000, maximum $5,000. That's what I was making previously with the other offer, and it was at 10%. Well, here was in, I think it was August, they made an announcement that, okay, this is a new offer that we have. It's a 5K and 10K offer, or whatever it was. Yeah, it was 5K and 10K. And they said this, they said, whoever becomes number one in the company, so whoever finishes top on the leaderboard, unlocks 20% of their commissions. I was like, that's all I need to hear. 20% of the commission. So literally, I've got the ability to double my commissions. And like number 2 got 15% and number 3 got 12.5%. That was irrelevant to me. I was only focusing on number 1. I was like, okay, I need to hit number 1. Not only hit number 1, I need to smash number 1. I'm not even looking. And that's when, like, I just honed in on myself. How can I bring the most out of myself first? And that's what I did. I was like, how can I bring the most out of myself? And because look, sometimes when you're focusing on others, as in, you know, what are others doing and what are their results and how do I beat them? You've already set the bar. You set the bar. I didn't want that as the bar. For me, I wanted to set my own bar. And I was like, okay, let me just go ham. I'm going to go ham. I'm going to get that 20%. If I don't get that 20%, I'm throwing away 10%. That's where I looked at it. So, and I believe in that first month, I closed $125,000 of deals. That was, and I wasn't even selling the 10K offer. I was selling only the 5K offer. And it was like 4,997. And I closed $125,000 on, I believe it was the 3 to 5K offer. At that time, it was a lower offer as well. It was 3 or 4 grand or whatever it was. It was a promotion price. I really can't remember, but it was below 5 grand. The moment I build 125 grand, now nobody, and there was a couple of other guys that I was mentoring and coaching with me as well. And ironically, the 3 guys that I was mentoring came second, third, and fourth. And you know, and the names are, and you guys are going to see testimonials from these guys as well. Usman, Shamil, and Hisham. They were all 3 friends as well, and they and this is what I loved about them as well. I wasn't even coaching or mentoring anyone. They just saw what I was doing and they reached out to me, and I was like, all right, I'll take you under my wing and I'll help you and develop you and coach you. And lo and behold, that first month that I was working with them directly, and we were working together that month. They, you know, I believe the number 2nd position got like 80,000. What I'll do is I'll drop the screenshot if I can in the comments, just to show you guys as well, and maybe I'll show you some of the stats and all of that as well. So that was the first month, and that's how I mapped it all out. And I remember literally, the moment I did that, I went away to Pakistan for about, I think it was about 6 or 7 weeks, and I came back. And I remember I was back literally like mid-month, and I was like, okay, I took another week out just settling back in the UK after I'd come back from Pakistan, and there was like 1 week left for the end of the month, and I was like, oh my God, there's 1 week left for the end of the month, and all of these guys have worked a whole month. All of these guys have worked a whole month. How am I gonna hit number 1? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to deny to you. It did creep into my brain. And I was like, okay, they've already did a whole month. How am I going to, you know, surpass them? And I was like, screw it. I'm not even focusing on them. I didn't even look at what they had done. I think I saw a snippet, as in like someone, what they had done in the last, you know, in 3.5 weeks. They did, I think the top guy did about 40 or 50 grand. I don't even think it was 50 grand actually. It was like 40 grand. I was like, right, I need to go ham. And again, I just went ham, and literally within what I did in 4 days, guys, it was more than what these guys did in a whole month. I did more than people that worked a whole month. Now, how is that possible? What did I do? You know, am I superhuman? No, but I refuse. I refuse to lose. You know, I demand more from myself. You know, I do more than what's required. Now, some of you guys can't even watch these YouTube videos. Some of you guys, and yet, like, you drop you drop the DMs to me, like, Jabran, what is it that you're exactly doing? Heck, I've even recorded everything what I'm doing. I've given you the step-by-step breakdowns and everything, but yet still people can't take the time to learn this, to study the videos. It's just videos. You watch all this rubbish on social media anyway. I'm talking to you about how to make 6 and 7 figures. Really study it. And for me, that was that month, and the month after that, you know, I think it was 2 months after that when I came back from Pakistan, and I did more than everybody did in a whole month in 4 days. And then after I remember it was January, February, and then I remember March and April of 2022, guys. It was crazy, man. It was insane. There was some fire that I had under my backside, and I had to make some big money. And I remember just saying, you know what? This month I'm gonna do the most I've ever done. The most I've ever done. And I swear to you, I put everything aside, and I went. At this time, I went really ham. We had a 5K and a 10K offer. They gave me more access to the higher leads as well. No, actually, they didn't. I didn't have access to the better leads at this point still. And I was like, right, I need to go ham. Again, I need to go ham. And I remember, and all I was doing, guys, I was speaking to qualified people, just the normal. There were no more inbound sales calls. I was literally just taking sales calls. And they were all, I think 95% of them were all one call closes. Some of them paid on the call. Some of them paid literally a few hours later or a day later. There was no pressure sales as well. And all I did for that month. So again, if I came number one, I'd make 20% commissions. Now 20% is pretty decent. Is above the industry average. So what I did in that month, and I think it was in April. Again, I'll send the screenshots if I can in the comments. I don't know how YouTube works or whatever. So in that month, I ended up billing over $300,000 in deals, guys. $300,000. But because there was like a couple of, like, one guy got a refund, wanted a refund because he wanted to use a different card or whatever it was or whatever. And one person just genuinely just had a financial situation and he couldn't carry on, and he got his refund. So there was about 15 grand that was refunded. So it ended up showing on the leaderboard 286,000. Now, what's 20% of 286,000? It was actually 300 grand that it should have been on. It should have been in 60 grand commissions anyways. But anyways, as it says on the leaderboard, I'll just go on from there and what the commissions that hit my account. It was 286,000 that I made for the company. 286,000, which I was going to get compensated at 20%. Now, 286,000, guys, just 10% of that is 28.6. Times that by 2, it's like well over $55,000 I made in one single month. Now the way it works is we get paid every 2 weeks. So for that month, like I got paid half in the first 2 weeks, and the other 2 weeks I got paid literally in the first week of the next month. So in the space of 30 days, I made well over $55,000. And over the course of the 2 months, because I worked March as well, it was like something crazy, man. I think it was like $80 or $90,000 in the space of 2 months. Now, for some of you guys, look how I have to remind myself, look how I'm just casually just saying, oh yeah, I made this much money. Like, for me, that's insane. I swear to God, guys. Literally before I went into high ticket closing, like full time into high ticket closing, I remember getting offered a full time job, and they said the salary is going to be £48,000, which works out to roughly about 60k. And I remember saying to my sister, I'm going to decline it, and she making a big hoo-ha out of it, because obviously it was like nearly 3 times her salary, 4 times probably. She was like, what the hell are you doing? You're crazy. You don't even have a job. Like, who do you think you are? Yada, yada, yada. And my dad's listening to this as well. He jumps in on the action as well. He's like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell have you done? And he's just going ham on me as well. And I'm like, And I remember it was a very emotional time for me at that point as well, very emotional. And I just said, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out here. There's people that are making silly money over here, and all I have to do is just take sales calls. I'm made for sales. I've been in sales all my life, and I've been number one in most of the companies I've worked for. I can figure this out, and here we are. I actually did that salary that I refused, the annual salary that I refused, I got literally in 1 month. And it's so possible, guys, but you need to think on that level. You need to get, and look, this is my, top tips and, some of the, pointers that I would give you if you really want to win in this space. Find a handful of people, get a mentor and a coach. Follow what they're doing. Follow what they've done. Get them to teach you and coach you and mentor you. Look at that. Like, I'm already giving you all this content, but like, look at read other sales books, about human behavior, about sales, about negotiation, about influencing people. How to Win Friends and Influence People is another great book, one that I studied. I haven't read many books, but the ones I've read, I've really studied. And I haven't even completed them, all of them as well. But the ones that I have read and the amount that I've read, I've really studied them as well. And this is what I'd highly recommend you guys do. Find someone that's winning in the space. Look at what they've done. Give up this extra time and socials and chilling and the junk food and going out and whatever. If you really want to win in this, look at this like a professional. Once you get all of this right, guys, find a great opportunity. Now, how are you going to find a great opportunity? You need to know what a great opportunity looks like. Do they have consistent leads? Do they have good testimonials? Do they have a good program? What's their qualification process, etc., and whatever, their price points on their programs, etc. Are there people already making money within that company? Do your own due diligence, look up the companies and all that as well. Once you found them, now you reach out to those companies. You give them a reason to want to speak to you and reach out to you. You do that. And as you're doing that, they'll want to speak to you themselves. Now look, before I was a high ticket closer, I weren't a high ticket closer. How did I influence others? I told them. I came across very hungry. I came across prepared, motivated. I showed them that I had the talent, I had the ability, I was hungry, I was ready for this. I gave them everything. I told them who I am and what I stood for. I gave them the documents. I did things that other people didn't do to get the results that other people couldn't get. And once you've got the opportunity, guys, really, really hone in. Don't look at other places and look at where things are greener over there and whatever. No, this is it. You water this place, you make this greener, and you do this and you become the best of your ability. You can't just be looking to do this and be like, oh yeah, you know what, I'll just check it out. I'll just make a few grand and see how it goes. No, you want to become the best version of yourself. Forget these excuses that you don't have the experience. Oh, you don't have this, you don't have that. That's why you're going to stay in the current situation that you are. Oh, but I don't like this and I don't like that. That's why you're going to stay in that current situation. You need to leave the old you. Now, look, guys, for me, I'm not no superhuman, but I just demanded more from myself. I was willing to go all in. And this is what you need to do. You need to be prepared to go all in. You need to let go of the old you. You need to let go of all these bad and old habits and really go in. But on that note, guys, as you can, I don't know if you can hear, it's the call for prayer. I'm going to go pray and speak to the Lord. But look, I really hope and pray you've taken on board what I've said to you and the little steps that I've given you as well, and the insight into how I broke my first 25K in a month, my first 50 plus K in a month. And look, guys, you guys are hearing this right now. My goal, I swear to you, my goal in this space right now as a closer is to do 100 grand commissions a month. 100 grand commissions a month. That's my goal, and that's what I want to do. And look, I'm going to be moving to Dubai very soon as well. There's a lot of things going on in my life as well. But look, on that note, guys, any questions that anyone has, please drop them below. Let me know how you found this. Like and subscribe. I'm going to love you and leave you. And if you're not praying, go and pray.